Thanks for joining us on the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Kerdisha St. Louis. Coming up, a $500 million budget for the 2015-2016 financial year is before the House of Parliament for debate. Details of our headline stories and more after this.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
You're watching GIS.
Thanks for staying with us. The nation's Honorable Finance Minister presented a $500 million budget to the House of Parliament today, which he titled Keeping It Real. The Honorable Prime Minister told the nation that the over $525 million budget was designed to grow the economy by 5 to 7%.
We are not about playing to the gallery and not guarding our stumps. This government, Madam Speaker, will in this budget keep fiscal bat and pad close together. We built the new Dominica and we have absolutely no intention of wrecking it.
The measures reflected in the budget incorporates the input of society stakeholders, as has become the norm for this government.
We are mindful of the numerous requests and demands made of this government by our farmers, hoteliers, tour operators, taxi drivers, manufacturers, and others. And in an ideal world, this budget would speak to all of these. The reality is that we are constrained by limited resources, and we have to decide how best to use these resources for the benefit of all the people.
The 2015-2016 national budget reflects $563 million in revenue and $551.4 million in expenses. The lion's share of the sum, $114.2 million, was appropriated to the Ministry of Finance. $66.8 million goes to the Ministry for Education, which will undertake a number of projects in the financial year. These include a new school block for the Dominica Grammar School and a new primary school for Tebow, in addition to overhauls of several other primary schools. The Ministry of Justice gets 11.4% of the total sum. That ministry will undertake a border management strengthening project in addition to the ongoing law revision project. The fourth largest share of the $52.1 million goes to the Ministry of Health for the new Princess Margaret Hospital. And the Ministry for Public Works will spend $33 million on infrastructure projects, including the entire road network of the East. The budget, the Finance Minister explained, will be financed in largely part by recurrent revenue and grant funds. Tax revenue will also play a major role in national funding.
Taxes on domestic goods and services continue to be the largest contributor to recurrent revenue and are estimated at $187.9 million, or 44.7% of the total. This includes $128.5 million from the value-added tax. The sum of $36 million and $28.5 million respectively are expected from personal income tax and from taxes on enterprises, that is corporate tax and withholding tax. The sum of $68 million is being estimated as revenues from taxes on international trade and transactions. Non-tax revenue is expected to contribute $92.1 million, of which revenue from the Citizenship by Investment Program will contribute $70 million.
Government will spend more than $36 million in agriculture this financial year, based on the Finance Minister's statement. Government will propel agriculture as the main contributor to the local economy. Meantime, the Honorable Finance Minister, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, made a definitive statement in the House of Parliament today that will ring in the ears of Dominicans for a while to come. He told the nation that Dominica cannot rely solely on the help of development partners. Citizens must do their part in order to realize the anticipated 5 to 7% growth. Prime Minister Skerrit detailed exactly how locals will do their part once the $500 million budget estimate is passed in the House of Parliament. Of particular note to the administration is the wealth of the nation's health.
For the period 2010 to 2014, 137 amputations were performed due to diabetes. For the period 2004 to 2013, 1,188 deaths due to the various types of cancers were recorded. The incidence of obesity among the 0 to 5 age group is 3.4%, while 6.9% are said to be overweight. Obesity in adult females is estimated at 32.7%, and adult males is 8.6%. The prevalence of hypertension among adults is 32.1%. The prevalence of diabetes among adults is 17.7%. Madam Speaker, these are worrying statistics.
Government's response, both proactive and reactive, has been evident in the investments made in sports development across the island and in health policies and decisions. The Honorable Prime Minister, nevertheless, named other steps taken by government to deal with what has been described as a critical health situation in Dominica.
Government has attempted to deal with these concerns through various interventions. Earlier in this address, I updated the population on the status of the construction of a new national hospital. The new facilities present the opportunity to introduce new services. In addition, improvements will be made to various health centers around the island. We are also seeking models of health financing that meet the needs of the Dominican population. Following the announcement in last year's budget, the Pan American Health Organization was approached to provide technical assistance in that regard. I am pleased to indicate that a team from PAO visited Dominica to undertake the exercise. Among the findings are there are high expectations in the population to be financially protected through a system of waiver fees when requiring health services. This constitutes an opportunity to build up a modern, more transparent system of financial protection as part of a broader strategy to make progress towards the UA/UHC. There are many challenges related to efficiency, equity, and sustainability faced by Dominica's health system and its health financing system. There is ample room for improvement in the organization of the health system that requires a comprehensive approach, with health financing being only part of the solution.
Honorable Skerrit is aware, however, that a broader discussion is required in addition.
Among the major contributors to ill health are the bad practices of smoking and excessive consumption of alcohol, as well as food and drinks with high sugar content. I therefore propose the following measures to discourage the use of these items. Cigars, cigarettes, and alcoholic beverages already attract an excise tax. The excise tax rate on all these items will be increased by 10%. The following will be added to the list of items attracting an excise tax. Sugar confectionery, that is sweets and candy, that is 1704 in the schedule. Soft drinks and other sweetened drinks, including energy drinks, 2202. Chocolate bars. The excise tax will be set at 10%. These new rates will become effective from 1st September 2015. The revenues collected from this measure will contribute to the production and maintenance of a national Get Healthy campaign, in which we take the message to our schools, civic and community organizations, churches, and NGOs, and the public at large.
The Honorable Prime Minister has often been heard encouraging Dominicans to buy local. Well, a giant leap was taken in the House of Parliament today in that direction. With the investments being made in agriculture and livestock this financial year, Honorable Skerrit is leaving nothing to chance. Prefaced by a statement that only local consumers can ensure the success of the local abattoir, pork and poultry industries, he announced that a discontinued excise tax has been returned to help guide customers along that route.
In 2008, at the start of the global financial crisis, and at a time when global oil prices were high and rising, prices of basic food commodities were increasing rapidly. Governments sought to protect the population by reducing the import duties on a number of food items. At that time, the import duty was reduced from rates ranging from 5% to 20% to 0%. A number of the items were included in that list. It is proposed that the rate of import duty, which existed in 2008, be reinstated on some of these items. The list includes, Madam Speaker, minced ground meat, Madam Speaker, from 0 back to the 5%, other from 0 to 5%, cut with bone, other beef, Madam Speaker, 0 to 5%, boneless, other 0 to 5%, frozen other 0 to 30%, meat of goats 0 to 5%, pig trotters 0 to 5%, back and next, Madam Speaker, it is 0, it shall remain 0. Wings, it is 0, it shall remain 0, Madam Speaker. Liver, 0 to 20, back to 20%, and other 0 back to 20%. Meat of bovine animals, salted or in brine, 0 back to 5%, Madam Speaker. The rates of import duty on chicken wings and backs and necks will remain at 0, Madam Speaker. In the case of this particular measure, it is intended that the resultant additional revenue would go towards the continued development and upgrade of the local livestock sector. In due course, it is hoped that the temptation to buy foreign will give way to the commitment to supporting local.
Agriculture will continue to be the mainstay of Dominica's economy. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit made this clear on Friday as he presented to the House of Parliament the 2015-2016 national budget. The Prime Minister revealed that his government will continue to invest heavily in this sector. Following his address, GIS News sought the impressions of those in attendance. Minister for Commerce, Enterprise, Small Business Development, Rosalind Paul, shared these thoughts.
A country's development depends largely on its resource base, and based on our natural resource endowment, we have to focus on agriculture. Agriculture is traditionally the greatest contributor to livelihoods, particularly rural livelihoods, and it has great potential for the expansion of the rural economy, which also supports the urban economy. So agriculture being on the forefront and with the new initiatives can take us to the next level so that we can once again be self-sufficient, contribute to food security, and not only for us but for our neighbors as well.
She says overall the items addressed in the budget are a good mix which will promote economic growth in a wide cross-section of society.
This budget presented is tremendous. You would realize that it targets every sector of society. It promotes economic growth through the various sectors while ensuring that there's the underprivileged and the marginalized in society are catered for, are cushioned. So it is a very good mix for protection, safety nets, but continued development of our country.
GIS News also spoke with the Honorable Minister for Agriculture, Johnson Drago. He says the allocation for agriculture will certainly stimulate growth in the agriculture sector, especially for livestock farmers.
It certainly is going to stimulate the farmers out there to take advantage of these opportunities. You heard the Prime Minister mention of some $4 million for the pork and poultry sub-sector. This is significant. Quite a few of our pork and poultry farmers are under a bit of stress in terms of the cost of feed, and they've been asking for some assistance with the preparation for the operationalization of the abattoir later this year. We definitely must give the farmers the support that they need to produce. My appeal to Dominicans in general is to start to prepare to eat local.
The second largest part, 16.5% of the $500 million budget, will go towards education. The Honorable Minister for Education and Human Resource Development, Peter Seja, is pleased. He says investment in human resource development is the right way to go.
We believe that if we are to make any inroads as a nation, that if our economy is to take off, there has to be a focused attention given to the whole issue of developing our people. And so this year, again another time, we see a large proportion of the national budget being allocated to human resource development, training of our people at all levels. Importantly, to the capital budget, we see allocations being made for construction or continuing construction of the school plans, developing the Dominica Grammar School. We will also make inroads in areas like Tibo, that for a very long time we've been speaking about, Kerdisha. So all in all, the Ministry of Education again takes a very large bite of the national budget, and I'm really thankful because we believe fundamentally that if we are to do well as a nation, our people's education is paramount.
Meantime, a resident of the community of Massac, Philip Jolly, came to Parliament with a mission. That is to find out if government will keep to promises made in its 2014 election campaign seeking a fourth term in office. He says he is satisfied that a number of these promises were addressed.
The hospitals and the new roads constructed that will be constructed, and a number of other projects that was promised by this government. I think the budget was well addressed and well delivered. And I see there is a light of and hope of job creation and so on for this country, new development for this country.
Parliament resumes on Monday, July 27, 2015. You're watching National Focus. Stay with us.
Children, remember, adults should not ask you to keep secrets that make you feel uncomfortable.
For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
Welcome back. The Honorable Education Minister, Peter Seja, is confident that the use of technology in the classroom could bridge the gap between educators and learners. Honorable Seja was addressing over 100 school principals on Monday at the 25th Biennial Conference of the Caribbean Association of Principals of Secondary Schools.
Through the use of technology, the scaffolding distance between the student and his or her teacher, or his or her peers, is basically non-existent. This has potentially huge benefits for learners, and it certainly makes the educator's scaffolding function easier.
The Education Minister says while this is true, his ministry is not oblivious to the challenges posed by the use of technology in the classroom. According to Honorable Seja, the acceptance of technology in schools will require aggressive and proactive interventions.
This evolving learning environment has necessitated greater efforts by the educator in ensuring adequate provisions for pastoral care and behavior modification techniques as students are more exposed to social challenges within their classrooms and indeed their communities. This has placed an added burden on the education system, since in addition to educating students, schools now have assumed an added role of law enforcement and rehabilitation.
Honorable Seja added that the mobility for learning has made students much more vulnerable and consequently requires a greater degree of adult supervision, which extends way beyond the school's walls. He anticipates that the workshop will bring renewed vigor to continue implementing structures already in existence at various schools and establish new ones. Secondary school principals from over 7 countries across the region are participating in week-long activities on island to commemorate the 25th biennial meeting, which ended today, Friday the 24th. In more news, the military Sealift Command Hospital ship UNNS Comfort arrives in Dominica on July 27th for the Humanitarian Civil Assistance Mission Continuing Promise 2015. An advanced team is already on island meeting with members of the steering committee, including officials of the Ministry of Health, Foreign Affairs, as well as National Security.
Continuing Promise 15 is a collaborative effort between the United States government, our host nation, and partner nations across 11 different countries. Right now we're in Dominica working with the Ministry of Health and all the local factors dealing with how to make this mission really go over well. One of the unique aspects of what we're trying to do here is we're just not coming in an effort to do something to the people of Dominica. We are here working with the leadership in Dominica to find the best way to work with you to develop your existing programs further and to help you in all areas that you've identified where you would like us to assist.
The Comfort's medics will provide a wide range of medical services to hundreds of nationals at 2 medical sites.
We're actually going to be pulling in on the 27th, and we're going to start surgical screening on that particular day. The Ministry of Health has identified people that were going to be eligible for potential surgeries. We will do the screening and confirm whether these surgeries are going to be the appropriate ones that we deem to be the most safe to be on the ship. That's on the 27th. However, as you said, the medical care at both sites will start on the 28th. And the services that we're going to be offering will be in 4 different categories. First will be adult health. Second will be pediatrics. Third will be dental care, meaning cleaning and also doing fillings, not pulling teeth. And then the last area will be the eye doctor, to where we're going to give you an eye exam and give you prescription lenses that will really relatively closely match the needs that you have for your eye care.
The ship official explains that serving nationals is the mission's primary objective.
All we're concerned about right now is helping people who are not as privileged as other people, to give them the benefit of what we call the universal language of healthcare. Everybody needs healthcare. Everybody speaks that language. That's why it's so important that we're here to help you help those in the greatest amount of need.
And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Did you know the Caribbean Court of Justice is 2 courts in 1? The CCJ has 2 functions: an original jurisdiction, which deals with your right to move between CARICOM countries freely and your right to move your money and your business. This is the basis of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and an appellate jurisdiction to hear appeals from courts of those countries which decide to use it as their final court of appeal and no longer go to the Privy Council. All CARICOM member states who have signed the agreement establishing the CCJ are members of the CCJ.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skirt fait présentation budget pliqué en $1 billion qui présenté en Parlement aujourd'hui. Si le Premier ministre Skirt, tout secteur économique payé qui bénéficie. En même temps, quand même, si le ministre de l'Éducation Honorable Peter Saint-Jean, budget là, c'est une réflexion bien claire développement pays là.
Et bon, maintenant, nous écoutez, nous le Premier ministre là présenter un budget. En l'idée, moi, ça c'est un budget qui est visionary. Il a adressé tous différents départements, sections en Dominique. Et ça, nous contemple en budget ça là. Nous pas vraiment parler des affaires, l'argent, comment nous lever l'argent, et ça nous dépenser, et ça nous fait. Mais le Premier ministre là prend temps pour crier à sous Dominicain, pour prendre responsabilité pour le développement différents mondes et aussi développement pays là. Spécialement, il a parlé pour moun prendre responsabilité santé yo et ouais qui nous yon des misi qui a adressé moun Dominicien peuple Dominique peut adresser la vie yo quand nous yon l'eau différentes maladies qui nous voulait adresser nous nous mettez élever taxe là sur alcool et tabac et aussi yon des manger qui yon l'eau qui a occasionné problème pour nous. Budget ça là c'est un budget entièrement pour tout Dominicien.
En autre nouvelle, le ministre de l'Agriculture a fait un report qui plein free qui receive de fonds distribués pour habitants payants. Parole celle-là, sorti du ministre de l'Agriculture, Honorable Johnson Drago.
Et bien, comme ça, nous avons plus de 20 000 plans en pays pour le premier batch plan. Et bien, quand nous avons parlé, ces femmes-là, nous avons sélecté, ils ont recevé un plan à présent. Le gouvernement pour un commitment le gouvernement qui assiste ces plants et puis ça fait chimical et puis ça fait manure pour ces plants ça yo et le programme ça allait bien. Additionnellement, on a 20 000 plans oui si même ça en pays encore. So nous que ça aider d'autres femmes. Nous pointer ces plans ça même manière nous te pointer ces premiers ces plans et ben nous bas femmes ces plans ça. Quand le Premier ministre a dit en budget là ça a aidé nous pour nous arriver à la place Europe et bien nous avons payé support order Wind Fresh et puis Fair Trade et bien nous avons bon espoir pour ça fait figue là.
En d'autres nouvelles, Dominique a eu opportunité pour expérimenter Bache Kano Kanawa qui lancé ici vendredi. Si l'officier culturel Gregory Rabes, public là qui a eu opportunité ça samedi.
Très important samedi, mon Dominique ni chance là pour voyager en les canaux là. Tout on grand ou quelque ça grand rad ou labé ou ça c'est grand sens même entre Cabrit et Point Rond. Et puis toute région ça yo kay mettez petit canal là sur un petit test et puis quand invité public Dominica pour venir participer dans ça et puis pour batcher canal là et puis pour un petit vep qu'on nous dit mais pas seulement ça il y a mais aussi so c'est une manière pour faire peuple Dominica découvert en Kubulika toi et puis une manière pour découvrir ou redécouvrir tradition Kanawa Kalinago Dominique.
Et puis finalement, Dominique bien avancé pour activer 100% Millennium Development Goals, toute communauté payée qui n'est de l'eau potable. Parole celle-là, sorti de officier relations publiques pour compagnie de Wasco, M. Edward Regis.
Comme ça, nous mettons dans position là, nous les potiers glo, bah toute commune, tout en Dominique. Dominique mettez en position ça, avec nous bien pour nous ça arriver en position ça avec Dominique qui était le premier pays en la terre qui mettait en position ça. Après ça nous avons un gros projet qu'on nous dit pour nous apporter global communauté Bells avec Penrice avec Sylvania avec ces places ça allait bien. Nous avons bâti intake, nous avons bâti storage tank, et à présent nous avons lié pipe pour nous amener à ces communautés. Comme ça, le projet ça aller bien.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle créole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson St. Luce. Un bon week-end. Au revoir.
Coming up next, your tip of the day.
You're watching GIS.
Today we will share a few nutrition tips for better oral health. Avoid foods with high concentration of sugar. Beware of hidden sugars. Check for the concentration of sugar on product labels, and don't forget that many refreshments and soft drinks have a high concentration of sugar. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I'm Kerdisha St. Louis. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.